CeeDee Lamb. That's
Well,
basically.
you just said that. You just went there. You just put him in that conversation.
When you look at the first 4 years of one's career,
I'm with you.
there's the numbers that speak to it. You pay him. You don't even think about what it is because the parameters have already been set. The blueprint is there. Now, if you want to say, well, we want to give you 101 instead of 102, okay, cool. That's fine.
Yep.
If that's what you want to do. But we're going to start with Justin Jefferson, stop that. And then we're going to go from there. And if you don't want to meet my standards and where I want to be, then fine, I'll stay home. You figure it out with Brandon Cooks and whoever else you got on the roster into such due time. Because one of the things that I like is a guy like CeeDee Lamb has made some money. He's gotten some money. So it's not like he's going to starve to death, right? Now you say, well, he's missing out on so much money, Key, $17 million. True, but he's going to make a whole lot more money. What his strategy should be, and probably is, and I don't know, is he's at the last year of his contract. So accredited seasons toward free agency is very important. When I played, it was you needed 6 games to get a credited season. Now I think they dropped it down to like 3. As long as you are on the active roster and participating in 3 games, you get that accredited season. So he could sit tight for 14 games, come in with 3 games to go a la Joey Galloway, Seattle Seahawks, and then what you gonna do? You gonna eventually either trade him or pay him, if that's the case. He doesn't have to sit out the entire season at all. And at some point, I believe they'll get the deal done. I think at some point they'll get it done because when you got guys like St. Brown, Amon-Ra making 30, Tyreek Hill 30 plus, he's getting ready to renegotiate his deal. Then you got Justin Jefferson in the 30, A.J. Brown in the 30 club. I mean, there it is. It's right here. What is there to think about, Rachel?
I think before those guys set the market, the Cowboys should have gotten this done. I just don't understand what they are doing here. You need CeeDee Lamb on your team this season. You just do. And by the way, him missing training camp, it's not just lost money out of his pocket, it's lost time with the rest of the team. We've had guys who missed all of training camp. Nick Bosa did it last year, and he said it affected him a little bit in terms of especially the first month or 2 of the season. He was thinking too much out on the field because he didn't have that muscle memory. So they're costing themselves in all kinds of ways. We know they're gonna sign him. They could have gotten this done at the very beginning of the offseason and gotten a discount. Once Jefferson set the market, then all of a sudden, you've got CeeDee who's going to want to come in right under it. And we've seen this.
Under? I ain't coming in under.
Oh, you think CeeDee Lamb's coming in over Justin Jefferson?
Man, the last guy, who's the last guy? That's all I care about is Justin Jefferson. His number starts here. This is where we start. I feel I'm better than him. Yeah. That's the bottom line.
He can make a case he's more important to the Cowboys than Jefferson is to his team, right?
You're 100%.
Right? So I get it. I would say if he came in slightly under, that's still a win for him. The point is that the Cowboys, and Skip, you know this better than anyone, they've done this over and over. They let a guy hold out, they let it go down to the wire, and they end up giving him money anyway. Just last season, Zach Martin held out for a new deal. He was eventually the 4th highest paid offensive guard in the entire NFL. That's how much money they ended up giving him. They could have just done that to beginning with. And Ezekiel Elliott is, of course, the most famous example. Walked away, held out, right, and had one of the largest running back contracts ever to be signed at the time. And you can talk about his value as that contract wore on. But the bottom line is they knew they were going to have to pay him, and they let him hold out anyway. I just don't understand the strategy.
So you did grow up in the Washington area as a fan of that team.
Yes.
That used to be called that name.
Yes.
That we, each of us, we can't let it go because we grew up with it.
We grew up watching it.
So your passion for that team matches my passion for my team.
Yes.
I started when I was 10 years of age because they just got born at that point. And yet, I'm here to tell you, right here, right now, this team and this owner is making it harder and harder for me to continue to root for this team, starting with bet down 27-0 in a home playoff game against the Green Bay Packers. I still have not recovered from that moment that Michael Irvin probably has not recovered from either, as you so beautifully paint the picture of.
It was nice hanging out with you.
It was. You had a good time that day because he had one of the worst times of his cowboy-loving life, along with me. And then the offseason came, and it went, and it got more and more painful by the day. And never has there ever been a more misleading quote that came out of one man's mouth than Jerry saying, "We're all in" at the early stages of the offseason. And they are all out. And they're making a lot of fans about to be all out on trying to root for this team because there's less and less to root for. So it's almost as if my Dallas Cowboys are operating with about half the salary cap of all the other teams, as if Roger Goodell has penalized Jerry for being Jerry, and you only have half the cap. That's how he operates, because I'm saying, wait, we went out and got Eric Kendricks, the immortal Eric Kendricks, for $3 million. And then we brought back what's left of Ezekiel Elliott for $2 million. And that's it, man. And I have to sit day after day and come out here and face you day after day after the Eagles go get him. And then they go get him, and then they go get him, and then they sign him and sign him and sign him and sign him and him and him. And they're all signed. Every Eagle, as you correctly point out daily to me, is signed, sealed, and delivered. They have no negotiation issues at all with anybody, and they have dramatically, through free agency and the draft, improved their football team.
On paper, yeah.
It's really good on paper, and I got it. It's on paper, but on paper right now, it looks way better than my team looks, because my team's starting not to look that much better than your young team, upcoming team with your young quarterback.
Promising,
right?
But you don't want who you want to be a Super Bowl contender to be promising.
You don't. Okay, I got you. But now, look, am I okay with Micah's deal being on the back burner? I'm okay with that, because I think Jerry's saying, show me just a little more if I'm going to make you the top paid defensive player in the history of this game. Just show me a little bit more, and then we'll figure that out. I'm okay with that. As you know, I'm okay with Dak's deal being completely off the stove right now. I'm okay with that. But CeeDee's deal is not only on the front burner right now, the pot has caught on fire and the smoke alarm is going off, and somewhere upstairs, Jerry's sitting in his office asleep, I guess. I think he's in his chair and he's napping, right? And this is beyond wrong, because it hurts my heart for CeeDee, because when you earn that money and the meter is running because all those receivers just keep signing and signing, you know, for all I know, Ayuk will sign today.
That's what I was going to say to you. There'll be at least 3 redos on contracts on veteran guys.
Okay.
Whether it's a Devontae Adams and a Tyreek Hill, they all getting ready to get new money.
Yep.
And then there's a Brandon Ayuk that's in camp, but they can still trade him. People can pick up the phone and say, hey, we got 2 ones for you, 3 ones for you. And that comes along with a new deal that's going to be through the roof.
Yeah.
But maybe Jerry and them doesn't care.
Okay, because the clock just ticks. Like, it won't get any better. It's not like, you know what, my strategy is I'm going to outweight everyone. Outweight who for what? What are you trying to do? Are you going to outweight CeeDee and his representatives to the point that they finally crater and say, you know what, we'll take the 5th best wide receiver? Do you think they'll do that?
Do you think they're even offering the 5th best right now? Because that report from the Dallas Morning News, no substantial contract negotiations recently, blows my mind. And to your point about the offseason spending, the Cowboys are dead last this offseason in the NFL in offseason spending, and second to last, so 29th in offseason spending, or wherever, sorry, 31st in offseason spending. I've got NBA head at the moment.
I understand.
That 150% has spent more than them. So the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are 31st, have spent 150% more than the Cowboys at 32.
Because I don't know any more than Kendricks and Zeke. I don't know. Help me out.
They probably got some street free agent types.
Okay, all right.
But,
great.
But whatever their strategy
and by the way, quick point of order, Michael Gallup, he used to be a pretty good player. He just retired because he tore his knee up playing for the Dallas Cowboys after he did get some money. He got a decent deal from Jerry. He tore his knee up, and he was never remotely the same, and he finally just hung him up. Yeah. Okay, my point is,